Seriousness note, you did miss out on a big rising music star right next to you.
Alicia.
Right next to you.
It's actually me.
This woman has just signed a massive record deal.
He's asked me if I want to sing on BGT next year, and I've said yes.
Yeah, providing it's live.
Yay! Of course it's live!
20-second audition for all of us now.
No, I don't need
Why?
to.
Well, just give me a little
I
bit
just
of one of
signed
your
a
songs.
Virgin. I don't need to audition
Well,
for
just
you.
give me one of your
No.
songs. We have to go through
We're
that
beyond
process.
auditioning, darling.
Well, we have to go through that process.
Over the rainbow. David would have a Christmas #1, I reckon.
Definitely.
Easily. With a
What
little
about,
choir.
David, you came on as one of the guest artists when we do celebrity, as if you got a record out?
I'd love to.
That would be
done.
good.
Love to.
Okay,
That
done.
would be good.
And
What
we'll
will
give the
you
money
sing?
away to a charity
I want to
of your
sing.
choice.
I want to sing
tell
Mama to my mother.
Il Divo.
With
No,
no,
the
Mama.
Spice Girls version.
Mama, I love you. Mama, I care.
I think I did very well winning it for you.
Yes, you did, and not nervous at all.
No.
You didn't seem to be nervous.
I wasn't nervous, although I could feel his hand shaking inside.
Right, OK. There is that. That must be slightly uncomfortable for you. I'm sorry about that. But it worked really well, and the Americans got you.
Yes.
The Americans got you.
I think also because I'd worked American audiences on cruise ships for a long time over the years. So I knew that audiences liked what I did. But you have to just sort of tweak it a little bit. And then when we went to Las Vegas afterwards and we were 6 months at Planet Hollywood, which was incredible. And looking back, the whole time was it was kind of like it's a bit of a, at the time you don't almost you can't always grasp or appreciate, you know, what's going on, because there's so much press and promotion and stuff. And when you look back and go, wow, that was an amazing time.
The thing about you is, though, overnight success on America's Got Talent after, like, more than 20 years of working your butt off. Because you work really hard. You have to, especially with the act that you do. It's hard.
Yes.
I mean, I know you make it easy for you.
Oh, yes. I mean, you know, I'm just here, really, and we could just do it, can't we? See, look, she thinks I'm real.
I do. Actually, I do. You are.
But the...
I love you, Lorraine.
I love you, babe.
I love you.
Stop it.
I love you more.
But I like travelling. I like touring. And so now, thanks to AGT, I get to tour America, I go Canada, and they sell that show around the world. So I get to do gigs in, you know, in Asia and South Africa.
You must get recognised, both of you, everywhere you go.
Oh, it's a nightmare. I can't go out.
Can you not? People
No.
wanting selfies with you and everything. That's hard. It's tough at the top. It's tough at the top. It definitely is. Pudsey was very special. Sully, obviously, you're special as well. Of course, that goes without saying. But, you know, I thought it was awful that people almost thought, and you got a bit of stick for this, that people thought, oh, you know, Pudsey had died and instantly you'd replaced him. But Sully was always here.
Sully has been with me since he was, you know, a young puppy. So he actually grew up with Pudsey. They absolutely...
Yeah, they were pals, weren't they? They were friends.
They adored each other. But when we lost Pudsey, there was a lot of negative press and comments about how I've replaced Pudsey. And I think people had this idea that I went out and
just got another one?
And got another one.
As if you could?
As if he was, like, trained like that, easy.
No.
That was not the case. So I'd already had Sully for about 4 years.
Sure.
And he was in training and had already been pretty amazing in his own right already. So it's quite a natural step for us to bring Sully up into, like, the spotlight and become my main performing dog.
Because sadly, we do lose our pet. It's hideous. It's like losing a member of your family. I mean, you must have been... That's horrible, because you're getting all that negativity when you're grieving. For your wee dog, for your best pal.
It was so difficult because I had to then, you know, speak out.
What a suit he is. It's fantastic.
But yeah, I mean, it was really difficult. Like you said, it was like losing a family member. But not only that, I had to do it in the press and stuff like that. So it was quite difficult. But Sully was there with me and he helped me through it.
He's fantastic. He's so clever. As you know, there's huge affection for you.
Oh,
you know, I mean, you really, really touch people. You've got a beautiful, beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. There was no way they could have said no to you. It would have been ridiculous. It would have been ridiculous. But look, now that I remember that's you on GMTV, for goodness sake.
I actually messed up the lyrics on that.
Did you? Nobody noticed?
That's good.
Nobody noticed. You were a total professional and you just carried on. It was really, really good. It really was.
Thank you.
You've still kept in touch with Simon over the years as well?
Yeah, I still see him now and again at, like, charity events and stuff.
That's really good. So you do a lot of work for charity. You do a lot of singing, various events and things.
Yeah.
That's great. So it's important for you to sort of give something back.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really important. I mean, I really love performing, so it's great to help charity and get on the stage.
Sure.
Definitely.
No, of course. And what sort of music do you love doing? What kind of things do you want to do in the future?
So I've been writing a lot of like soul/pop kind of thing,
Right.
like Adele and Sam Smith kind of.
Lovely.
Alicia Keys. So yeah, that's the sort
Quality.
of songs that.
Proper
Yeah.
quality. That's what
Yeah,
we
I
want,
love
that's
singing
for
those
sure.
songs.
You nearly never made it. I mean, we can still see the results of your fall. You had a really bad accident. What happened?
That's right. After winning the semi-final, I was so excited and exhausted that I ended up tripping over at the hotel and bashing my nose. For a moment, I became lost balance guy. But everything was okay in the end.
I'm glad to hear it. Do you know what you're going to do with the prize money?
I'm definitely going to get a Geordie accent for my iPad.
Good.
Because I'm sick of sounding like a posh version of RoboCop.
I'm glad you're getting a Geordie accent. It's my favourite. You've had so much support, haven't you? What would you like to say to people who voted for you?
I've been overwhelmed by the support I have received. In fact, I think that's the best part of this whole experience. Everyone has shown so much love ever since my audition, and I'm really very grateful for it.
Do you think, Lee, that you've maybe changed people's attitude towards performers with disability?
I'd like to think I've opened people's eyes a bit and made them realise that being disabled isn't all bad. I hope that by seeing disabled people like myself on national television, some of the stigma will be taken away from disability. I believe that people will get more used to disabled people if they see more of us on television.
Absolutely. Your act is really cheeky, though. You do get away with quite a lot, don't you?
I do indeed. I think it helps that most of my jokes are based around myself, so maybe I get away with it more. I do enjoy pushing the boundaries, though. I think that most comedy should try to do that.
What have you got planned for the Queen?
I have some surprises up my sleeve for the Royal Variety performance. I just hope the Queen likes my jokes, or I might end up in the Tower of London.
I love doing Britain's Got Talent.
Of course.
It's super fun.
It's great fun.
But as soon as it's off TV, people forget about it. I mean, even sometimes the day after the final, people say, who won? And I struggle to remember. Because it's weird. You go, oh, yeah.
I don't know. That was then.
Yeah. But, you know, I love doing it. I love doing all these things.
Yeah,
but
it's great that
this
you
is
get
the
a
thing
chance to do.
I get, I guess, most satisfaction from.
Because they have a week in June that's like Walliams week, isn't it? Where kids can, I mean, for goodness sake, most people just get a day. You get an entire week.
Yeah, I don't know why I've got a week, but no, it's very exciting. So I think there's lots of activities happening with schools.
And you can go
around
into
the country.
schools and then and there's all that contact, which is great. And Britain's Got Talent is a hoot, and you are the only person that can get away with the things you get away with Simon Cowell.
I don't know how I have got away with them.
I love it. It's hilarious, because sometimes he just does not know what to do with you.
No.
He's not quite sure how to
Well, you
respond.
can always kind of get the better of him, however hard he tries. I mean, there is stuff also that never makes the edit on the day.
I can imagine.
It's really, really funny. Am I allowed to tell you a couple of stories?
Yes, please do.
Well, we had this... we had this guy come on, he was like ballroom dancing, and he happened to be a Mr. Gay UK. And I said, oh, thank you, Mr. Gay UK. We'll now go over to Mr. Bi-Curious UK for judging. And the producers were like hooting with laughter. And I was like, oh, can you use that? No. So yeah, there's loads of things. If you're lucky enough to be in the audience...
Oh, you must have such a laugh.
I mean, we really want to one day do an X-rated version of the show.
You should.
Where we can really say what we think.
Wow, can you imagine? I don't know if we'd be able to put that on anywhere.
No, I think it would finish our careers for good.
That would be the end of that. That would be the end of that for sure. Does it get really competitive between the four of you,
It does,
though?
because Simon Cowell is so competitive.
Right.
He's competitive about every single thing you could be competitive about. He even said to me one day, who do you think's better looking, my son or your son? I said, well, my son is obviously better looking, but the good thing is you're rich, so you can pay for your son to have plastic surgery. he said to his partner, Lauren, David just said everything needs plastic surgery.
But you didn't say that.
Yes, I did. But
you were provoked.
There's actually nothing we kind of wouldn't say to each other. Hey, we're like brothers. We sort of love each other and hate each other in equal measure.
Exactly.
He once said to me, "You're only happy when I'm unhappy," and he said, "I'm only happy when you're unhappy."